everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. You already know who it is. It's Alfalfa. It's me. Welcome back to the Alpha Tribe. This is a safe space and my cats are probably going to be interrupting the video, so that's just a disclaimer. He already looks very curious. What are you doing? You know when you can't be alone and so you follow people around all day? That's what my cats do. He's mad curious. He knows I'm talking about him. He's acting nonchalant. Also, if my hair moves, I am wearing an Amazon shirt. I am really sorry, Amazon, for wearing your t-shirt. This is one of the most comfortable shirts I own. I am in no way at all repping Amazon. If you guys want a video about my experience there, that'll be completely separate, but I no longer am affiliated as an employee at Amazon. Like I said, this is a safe space. Today, I'm going to pray for you guys, not necessarily take your bad vibes and give you good vibes, because I am starting a series. This is part one of a many-part series about my traumas in life. I asked Instagram if they wanted to get like a tea time, essentially a trauma dump, or if you guys wanted to know about my healing journey. So I figured that I would feed all those birds with one scone and make it a trauma / tea and therapy session each time that I upload to this playlist. This is Tommy Boy. Hi. He doesn't want to say hi. I don't have tea right now. It's nighttime and I guess I didn't feel like making myself some actual tea. I've been putting off starting this playlist for a really long time, like a really long time, because this is what I wanted to start my channel off with. It's just, you know, the truth, where I come from. I don't want to just be out here spitting in all the good parts about healing without telling you guys about the trauma that comes along with it, or that gives you the opportunity to heal if you do it right. But I was not in the mental space to prepare a cup of tea right now, which usually will be the case, or at least a beverage. I should probably get some water. I just decided, let me just put the camera up and film my fucking trauma and tea therapy episode number 1, which is about my parents and my childhood, of course, because I can't just go into all the juicy stuff in like high school or whatever. I have to tell you guys about my childhood, and that's why I've been putting it off, because I also kind of feel like talking about your childhood is boring in a way, but it's not. Like, I didn't go through anything too crazy, but I did go through some shit. So my parents had me when they were teenagers, and that's, look, I've said it before and I'll say it again, there is nothing against teen pregnancy. I feel like if you are a teenager and you are having a child, or you have had a child, I'm not saying go ahead and do that. I think you should be financially, mentally, spiritually, emotionally prepared. I feel like your overall well-being should be in a healthy state. Your mental state should be healthy. I feel like you should want to have a child for you to have a child. Nonetheless, my parents claim till this day, 25.5 years later, that they wanted me, that they wanted to have me, so they made me with love. I wasn't an accident, I wasn't a mistake, but they didn't last. So you know how people go through like divorces and stuff like that? It wasn't like that. It was like my parents had me, and it was like they already knew that they weren't going to be able to be together. But I knew I wanted to make this video, and I didn't know how vulnerable I wanted to be, so of course there might be some things that I don't talk about, but it actually feels good letting it out, so bear with me. And this might be part 1 to this, because my videos aren't going to be 15 minutes long. Subscribe to me if you haven't already. My dad, these are things that I've been told. I was obviously there when it happened, but I was literally a sperm and then a fetus and then an infant. But from what I was told later on in my teens and throughout my life as well, excuse me, my father had a compromise, like a compromiso, not a compromise, like he had a promise to marry a woman from his childhood. Okay, I'm feeling awkward because I don't want my parents to watch this video and hit me up like, oh my god, you're making us look bad. This is literally what happened. This is where my childhood trauma started. My parents had me because my father had a promise to marry. Basically, like, to me, it's an arranged marriage. He had an arranged marriage planned by his parents to marry his wife, and he had fallen in love with my mom, so they made me, and I had to suffer the consequences. We all suffered the consequences. I can't victimize myself because we all have trauma because of it. But basically, they only lasted together like less than 3 years before they officially ended everything. You know, like my dad started having children with his wife and stuff like that because he just got married, and you know. So I don't think he gave my mom the boot. I feel like he deadass loves my mom, or loved my mom. I'm not gonna speak for them now.
I do know that my mom had the strength to walk away. So now I'm raised by a bunch of people. Like, now my life is split into, my family is split into.
Both of them started new families. So my dad started a family almost instantly. And I'm not resentful. I love my siblings. I don't have a relationship with my stepmother. Later on, when I was 10, my mom started a new family and had another child. And like, I have a stepbrother and I have a stepfather, which I am very close to. Those things are good. Like, those are the bright sides of how the situation was, because in an ideal world you want to have both of your parents together. I feel honestly like everything happens for a reason, and had my parents stayed together and raised me, I obviously wouldn't be who I am today. I don't know who she would have been, because it's not her. I don't know who she would have been. I bounced around between my very loving families. So I was raised by my maternal grandmother, my paternal grandmother, and all of their children, and all of, you know, those are my aunts and my uncles, my cousins. My stepfather's side of the family, which is huge, I ended up having daddy issues and mommy issues. I ended up having really negative relationships with boys, and I ended up being really insecure with how I looked and everything about me. I hated myself for so long. I was depressed at a very early age. I am not laughing or smiling. I am. And then I couldn't keep a friend to save my life. I have only ever had toxic female relationships, like friendships. I'm going to get into all of that. So if you want to know more and know the details, my next video is going to be about middle school, which, you know, I skipped elementary school because I think I had a pretty good childhood. I grew up with my grandma, and she's like an old-fashioned Dominican grandma, but my dad was with his family, and then my mom started her family, and I was okay with being an only child. I have 4 brothers on one side, 2 brothers on another. I'm the oldest, I'm the princess. Everybody loves me. Like, I wasn't going through crazy shit, but emotionally, this is why I'm sharing my story. Like, this is why I'm all about mental health, because emotionally I was neglected. And when I use that word with my parents, they are fucking triggered. Like, pow, pow, pow. Like, they're triggered, and it just makes it that more true. And it doesn't mean that we should ever ignore it. And when I have children, I want to make sure to focus on their mental health, because I feel like I could have had a lot more support. But think about it. What happens when 2 children have a child? They were not fully developed. They both had so much more trauma with their families. I can finally see them for who they are and as humans, which has helped me heal so much. Like, I resented my parents for a long time. I ended up getting emancipated at 18. Didn't talk to my dad for damn near close to 2 decades, like my whole life basically. My mom, I've gone spurts of years where I don't talk to her because it hurts too much, because I don't like the path that she took, or like I deadass didn't like my parents. I had love for my parents, but I was very confused by them, and it wasn't until I turned like 19, 20, 21 where I started to address them and be like, yo, you fucking hurt me, and I don't want to be hurt anymore, and I want to know why you did what you did so that I could understand. And they had to sit down and be like, damn, I done been through some shit. And I had to be like, oh, well, now I know. Like, now we could talk about it. It's still hard sometimes, but I have a beautiful relationship with my parents now. I feel like we're all healing little by little. We can pick up the phone and call each other now, at least. I will tell a lot more detail about my relationship with them and why the trauma started, or like how the trauma developed. or continued as I share other parts of my life. It feels so relieving to finally be able to just get all of this out. I hope that if anybody can relate to the little bit of information that I've given so far, you know that you're not alone and that things have the potential to get better. You just have to do the work. I literally had to sit down and do the work. I cannot tell you how many journals I have because I lost count. And how much work I had to put in to get to where I am today, which is not 100% healed. You know, it's come to me healing, not healed. It's impossible for somebody to be 100% healed, except like that guy that wrote the book that I deadass cannot remember how to pronounce his name. I'll put it in the description because he has a lot of help self-development books. But yeah, I just wanted to share that. And I hope that if you guys have any questions, you put them down in the description box below, that you feel comfortable with talking to me because I'm pretty cool. Ask me questions that would be appropriate for me to answer in my future videos. Like I said, my next video is going to be my elementary and middle school experience. Child, we're gonna get there and it's gonna be okay, and I'm gonna teach you more about how to cope and deal with those things as time goes on. Look, I hope you had a good time listening to me rant for a little bit. It felt really good getting it off my chest. I guess I could have just taken your vibes and given you good ones, but I think a prayer does a lot more. So just know that all of you viewers and hopefully subscribers are in my heart and in my wishes, my well wishes. And yeah, okay, I feel a lot more comfortable in front of the camera now too, so that's really good. But I'll see you guys on the flip side. Have a beautiful, amazing rest of your day whenever it is that you're watching this. I send you so much love. I hope you guys love me back. Peace out, Alpha Tribe.